This is Jim Codell with Codell Construction, and if you give me just a second to get you squared away here.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, Lordy.
While she's getting that, I'll explain to you, give you 15 minutes or so to tell us about yourself and your experience. I'll ask you 7 questions that we've got here, and then I'll open the floor to commissioners to ask you questions.
Sure. While she's getting that ready, I'll
Sure, go ahead.
first of all, my name's Jim Codell, president of Codell Construction Company. I'd like to thank you all for the opportunity to be here this evening. With me tonight, I have our proposed project manager, Travis Curry, for the construction phase, or the drawing phase side, and our proposed construction manager for the construction activity side, Bill Cobb. Again, thank you all for the opportunity to be here today. We've got a little PowerPoint we're going to cover. I'm going to run through it quickly. I know the time frame. I don't want to hold you all up. Got a lengthy agenda, a lot on your plate. Please feel free to stop me at any time. But a lot of times we'll answer your questions as we make a presentation. So anyway, tell you a little bit about who we are while we get the presentation up. I'm fourth generation, 110-year-old company located in Winchester, Kentucky. We specialize in construction management and project management services on all types of building construction, with an emphasis on justice, judicial, and jail facilities. I'm going to show you a little bit about what we've done. Oh, here we go. Do we have a changer? Or,
I'm going to bring it to you. Am I on the right?
you are.
Okay.
Go to the presentation. Go to slideshow.
My screen is going blank. I'm trying to.
No pressure. And maybe if it would be possible to cut a row of lights, we can see a little better, or if that's a problem.
I'll just look at Frank. No, you're going back over here again.
Okay, perfect.
No.
You need.
Come. We welcome help. This is so not supposed to happen. Can I get this thing in?
View slideshow.
Yeah, her screen's black.
Yeah.
Let's see.
15 miles east of Lexington on I-64. Yes. Yes, sir. Halfway between Lexington and Mount Sterling.
4 hours away.
3. Travis lives in London. He's 2 hours away. Proposed on-site manager, Bill. He's a traveler. He moves to wherever the job is. He's in Texas right now. He's from McGoffin County in East Kentucky. If we're hired, he'll move here. So he's an empty nester, travel man, right, Bill?
Did you have any relatives in Hamlin County? That could go against it.
We do not that I'm aware of. Now, you know, there's always a few skeletons in closets that we can't ever tell about that. Can you see the screen?
She can see
We're
the
seeing
screen, but
something.
she's.
Go to view slide, get out of that, go to view slideshow.
Well, we're trying to
We're
find
not in
it,
PowerPoint.
we're not seeing it. That's the
You got the PowerPoint pulled up.
There you go.
There it is in PDF.
Yeah.
It's it, but I'm not seeing where it's, I can't find her.
Wait, here, let's.
My parole officer got me on curfew, I let me in by 8 o'clock.
There you go.
There, I opened the wrong thing to begin with, and then it just went downhill from there.
There we go.
Ta-da, there you go, thank you so much.
We'll get you.
All right, again, family-owned corporation, located, founded in 1908, located in Winchester. We're an independent construction manager, project manager, and that we serve as the owner's agent, as your agent, the county's agents, for three purposes. Budget control, project quality control, and project schedule control. We provide these services on over 300 projects as owner's rep, project manager, construction manager throughout in Kentucky and Tennessee. Basically, what you're trying to accomplish here is obtain the highest quality of construction at the least possible cost. You want a facility that the county can be proud of, that's finished on time to meet your budget and in a quality manner that's there for many years to come. I'm familiar with your current facility. I've seen some videos on the current condition. We understand where you are. We've assisted many counties in similar situations where you are, and feel like we're uniquely qualified to assist you all in getting you where you need to be and getting you a facility your citizens to be proud of, to meet your budget, quality manner that's here for many years to come. We've been in business a long time, and we've stayed in business by turning out a quality product to make our owners happy. And if we're hired to do these services, we'll make you happy. Just give us the opportunity. We list every client that we've done the management services for in our portfolio. Would urge you to contact them with respect to our capabilities. They'll tell you we do what we can get paid to do, and that's turn out a quality project to meet your satisfaction. Basically, if we're hired, I'm the president of the company. The buck stops here. If there's ever an issue, I'm a hands-on owner. That's why I'm here tonight. But if there's ever an issue that needs to be addressed, I'm here. The team I propose is my A team. I don't think you're going to have any issues if we're hired. Travis, like I said, we're proposing him on the design side, reviewing the plans, making sure everything's in order before construction starts. Then Bill on the construction side. You're going to hear from both of those guys tonight, get to know them. Travis lives 2 hours away. Bill would move here if we're hired and take up permanent residence until the project is complete. We do have additional staff you have not asked for in the RFP that we can provide if need be on an as-needed basis. We have estimating staff, contract administrators, project accountants, and safety people if needed. But the way the RFP reads, you're basically needing somebody to review the design and then somebody construction. I think we can handle this with Travis at the beginning and handing the ball off to Bill to get us through construction. And again, we're going to hand you this slideshow out, a hard copy. I'm not going to sit here and bore you and tell you what I've done. I've been in construction since I was pre-teens, and I'm working on 40 years. I've seen it all in construction, but again, I'm a hands-on owner that stays involved, daily contact with Travis and people in his positions, and we run a tight ship. We've got decades of experience working with various architectural firms, as managers, design builders. We do a lot of owner's rep services where we strictly come in and, make sure that owners are minimizing their risk. There's risk associated with any construction project you undertake. Our job is risk mitigation. We do work for banks. Banks hire us to come in and monitor projects on a monthly basis, sometimes daily basis, to make sure that the money they're lending is being spent properly. Do it on tens of millions of dollars worth of projects every year. We come in and work with you as a team member. Where we typically are used to coming to court meetings, providing updated reports on the project. We can inundate you with paperwork. I mean, we do daily reports, we do weekly reports, we do monthly reports. We're accustomed to coming, participating in your meetings, answering questions, give you an update on what's going on with the project. We have project management software that you can, literally there'll be a website associated with your project. You can get on there and look at the manpower who's worked each day, look at all the correspondence, any issues that come up. We hold the monthly management meetings, take care of the business associated with the job, and again, document the work, make sure everything's being performed properly. Here's a list of all the jail, detention, justice center projects we've done in Kentucky, Tennessee. Again, would urge you to contact any of the folks on this list. Here's judicial and court centers additionally throughout Kentucky and Tennessee. And then there's more. Again, there's 30 jail and justice center projects similar to yours, 52 judicial centers. We've been through the learning curve, and these guys that we're proposing as team members have been involved in a lot of those projects. Travis Curry, again, he's been a project manager for 18 years with our company, done a lot of jail courts projects, and I would put his experience up against anyone. East Kentucky University construction management graduate, is competent in scheduling, change order control, budget control, pay apps, any business associated with this type of project. Here are a listing of them. 2 new detention centers, one just opened in London, Royal County. How many beds, Travis?
700.
700 bed facility. And then, a 300 in Knox?
Yes.
And then several others, police stations, judicial centers. Again, I think that shows you we've been through the learning curve. We know what we're doing on these types of projects. Bill Cobb, likewise, he's an on-site guy, very computer literate, and can handle the paperwork associated with the project and would be the boots on the ground anytime the work's being performed, and make sure you're getting a quality finished product and minimizing the county's risk, controlling that budget, controlling the change orders, make sure the county's not getting taken advantage of, make sure the taxpayers are getting what they're paying for. Again, lots of jail and judicial center experience, several schools. This is just what he's done in Codell. How long you been at Codell, Bill? 17 years. Again, I'd urge you to contact the clients that he's worked for while working for Codell. There's additional staff if needed. Like I said, on the estimating, clerical, contract, accounting, safety if needed. The way your RFP reads, you may not need these, but if they do, we can provide them. At this point, I'm going to turn over to Travis, talk a little bit about what he's would do during the construction drawing phase, and he will turn over to Bill, talk to you a little bit about what he would do on the construction side.
Well, good evening. My name is Travis Curry. As Jim said, I won't bore you with my past work experience that's in the presentation, but I want to thank you for giving us the opportunity to come before you this evening to present to you the administrative procedures that we will provide for you if we are hired as your project manager. Those administrative procedures will begin in the design phase, continue through the construction phase, as well as the closeout phase of your project. One of the first tasks that I will be focusing on is establishing a line of communication and a relationship with you, the county, the owner, the design team, county officials, and anyone else involved in your project. I think that line of communication is very important to all of us in order to have a successful project. It's also important to us to be involved early in the design phase so we can become very familiar with your project and your design. When you're building a 196,000 square foot building, approximately 600 to 700 bed facility as well. Getting involved early in the design phase and through the pre-construction phase allows us to find any problems or issues that may come up early in the project that we can avoid having conflict issues later in the project. We like to assist in contractor bidder pre-qualification process. We feel that's very important for the bidders to be pre-qualified. That way we know the people bidding your project know how to do your work. We like to be involved in the administrative process of the bids received, evaluating those bids, and making sure they include all the scope that was requested. You've always heard the saying, low bid is not always the best bid. So we want to be involved in that process. We also feel it's important to assist in the review of the project construction contract schedules prior to any acceptance of those. Again, making sure everything is covered and there is no gap in the scope of work. Again, input and bidder pre-qualification, the construction document review, bidders, and evaluation comments we will provide to you as well. Contract budget, very important to make sure we are within your budget. How do we control that budget? That's done early in the design phase. That's the reason we feel it's important to provide that administrative process early in the design phase. Schedule evaluation, it's very important to have a schedule that fits your time frame. Continuing on in the construction phase, once the bid has been awarded, there's another step in the communication process we want to bring on board. At this point, we've got a contractor involved. Again, we want to get that contractor involved and establish that line of communication with the team to make sure there is no I in team. We work together as a team to make this a successful project. During the construction phase, part of the administration process that we will do is, again, progress schedule. We want to make sure the job's progressing per the schedule. Schedule shop drawings. It's very important. Shop drawings is very important to meeting a schedule. We want to build hopefully there will be a schedule established for shop drawings as well as for the submittals. A lot of submittals required in order for the architect and design team to present a color schedule so you can choose and pick the colors you want for your facility. We plan on attending meetings with contractors, such as the pre-construction conference early in the pre-construction. When the job is awarded and we are in the construction phase, there will be progress meetings, job conferences, another project-related meetings include, and we will also issue meeting minutes for your records. That way you're up to date and you know everything that's going on in your project. That will be very important as part of the administrative process that we will be providing. Our own field observations, as Jim mentioned, Bill Cobb will be our on-site project manager during the construction process, and his duties will be making sure contractors are in compliance with the contract documents, that there is no defective work, He will report defective work, monitor project safety on a regular basis from start through the construction and final phase. So with that, I'm going to introduce to you Bill Cobb, who's going to be our on-site project manager, construction manager.
All right, I'm Bill Cobb here. I appreciate Travis opening for me. I'll be on site daily. I'll be reviewing RFIs. There will be coordination. Just hold on a minute. I'll review proposal requests. We'll make sure that what the contractor's pricing is what was asked for. We will coordinate carefully with the architect to make sure the job's going according to his design. We'll consult with the engineers about scheduling inspections along with the owner. Like Travis says, we'll do lots of documentation. We'll do daily reports, weekly reports, and monthly reports, meeting minutes. I will review pay applications. We'll verify materials. We'll review submittals, make sure the submittals are meeting the contract documents and that they're installed per the contract documents. We will coordinate owner furnished items. There'll be some items that the owner will furnish, and we'll coordinate getting that stuff to the job and installed correctly. We'll participate with the architect in the substantial completion process, punch list process, and closing out the building process. On the project warranty, we'll go along with the project closeout. In the project warranty phase, we'll be wrapping up loose ends and deficiencies that have accumulated during the job. We'll close all that out toward the end of the project. Your warranty phase will start at substantial completion. There'll be some items that will occur that your warranty will take care of, and I'll be your contact for that. You won't be bothered with it. We'll get your warranty work taken care of. We'll get a resolution to all the outstanding deficiencies on the job. Throughout the job, the deficiencies will be listed and worked off as the job progresses, but at the end of the job, there'll be a few we have to close out. And warranty claims will be tracked. And we'll do that for the 1 year, throughout the 1 year warranty period. Why Codell?
First of all, I think the reason that you would want our firm would be for the protection of the taxpayers of Hamlin County. Make sure the county doesn't overpay for anything. Make sure the county gets what they're paid for, what's designed in those documents, to mitigate the county's risk and give you something to be proud of. We feel that our experience in this type of construction makes us uniquely qualified to do this. We'll make sure nobody gets overpaid, make sure everybody gets paid for what they're due. We treat contractors firm but fair. If they play by the rules, we're going to treat them fairly. And first and foremost, we're going to treat the county fairly. That's who's paying the bills for the project. Our number one person we answer to would be the county, and it'd be our job to protect the county. And that's what we would do if you hire us. So we've been through the learning curve. We've worked in a lot of different scenarios. We get brought in on a lot of projects that get in trouble and have to fix them. Those aren't the fun kind. Judicial Center in Bullitt County, Kentucky, 15 years ago, contractor went belly up on it. Architect went belly up on it. Complete disaster. brick and stone was up off on the side of the building. Roof was not. Sheeting and everything was on the building. Roof was taking on water. Mold in the building. We had to go in and cut the sheeting. The sheeting, the exterior sheeting was all molded. We had to keep the brick and the stone intact while cutting the sheeting out. A feat itself, not a fast process. So we've been brought in on them when they get in trouble. That's not the fun projects. The good projects are when we're brought in early and we can work with the designer and the county early on to make sure we avoid these mistakes happening. Make sure if there's a problem that pops up, we attack it early. We have to get the bonding company involved. We'll get the bonding company involved, but we're going to nip it in the bud before it snowballs and becomes a major liability to the county. We track the schedules daily, and if there's an issue, you're going to know it. Travis has been nicknamed the Schedule Nazi. They watch the schedule. These guys watch the schedule. That's the Bible, because there's risk associated with the job getting out of schedule. And bottom line is, you want that thing on schedule so you can open the doors and get rid of the issue you want. You're probably bleeding the money, I'm guessing, the facility you're in. So you want this thing done on time, but you don't want to be taken advantage of on the price. And that's what we're going to strive to deliver to you in a safe manner. And if there's something wrong, we're going to point it out to you. And we'll help you fix it. That's what our job would be to do. So, and again, work solely at the counties. We would be an employee of the county, that's basically what we would do. One thing we do a lot of to help on the cost of these facilities is we work with counties and the state to get the materials involved with the project sales tax exempt. They'll allow the counties, we've gone in and worked with a lot of these counties, allow them to direct purchase of materials, save sales tax. That's a big number. 40% of this job is going to be materials. Save you, what, 9 3/4, 9 3/4, isn't it? Sales tax. So we know the process on how that's done, and done a lot on these projects. We'd be willing to do that if that's something you all would like to pursue. We're accustomed to doing that on behalf of our clients. At this time, I'd be glad to answer any questions. And hard copies of what we just presented to you coming out. I know we brushed over a lot of it. We're trying to meet your deadline on the time.
How many of your projects were completed within or under budget?
I would venture to say in excess of 98% of them. One thing we do is, if we were hired, we would go through the plans and put a number to it ourselves before we would recommend that we be given the time to do that, a couple of weeks. That way we're going to know what this thing is going to cost. We got historical data on what all these projects cost. We've built 90+% of the jail beds in the state of Kentucky over the past 20 years. We know what these things cost. Travis just completed a 700-bed and 300-bed facilities 2 hours away. We know what they're going to cost. So we would check the number before it went out to bid, if there's time. And so we'll know if we have a budget problem before we go out to bid. If we've got a budget problem, we look for ways in the drawings to save, get the project in budget before we put it out to bid. I know Travis is on a 300 bed expansion right now in Grayson County, Kentucky. They hired us late in the process. The design was done, and we didn't have time to check the budget. We put the project out to bid, and it was over budget. We went back and value engineered the plans, pulled some money out of it, left the bed count virtually the same, brought the project in budget, changed some construction type, got the project in budget, kept the same design, and heck, how much money did you cut out of it, Travis?
Let's say 500,000.
$500,000. So we'll help find ways to fix the budget before the budget becomes a problem. That's the key. You don't want to snowball on you. You don't want to, and rebids tend to not be a good thing. So they can be, but ideally, you give us time to check the budget, make sure we're in budget before we hit the streets. We're gonna know within a couple percent where this thing's gonna hit. If you give us a couple of weeks with the plans and specs, you with me?
Have there been any projects you did not fully complete, and if there were, please explain?
No, sir. We've in our company's existence, it has not failed to complete a project.
Have there ever been any incidents where you were suspended or terminated from a project?
No, sir.
Have you had any litigation or claims related to projects you were hired to oversee that have been settled in the last 5 years?
We have, but not with owners. They've been subcontractor disputes. And none of those, let me say, no litigation on project management projects, period.
Do you have any current pending litigation?
We have a couple of insurance claims. And that, they're typically subcontractors that, well, they drag in. We've never had any litigation between ourselves and our owners, okay? So, we have 2 insurance cases pending that, again, they're pass-throughs. I mean, they're after the disputes with subcontractors, but we get drug in. And we can provide info on those if you want to see them.
How often will you be on site to evaluate the progress of this project?
It would be our intent to have Bill here full-time. This is a big enough project that would require, I mean, to do everything that really needs to be done here, I think he needs to be here full-time to inspect the work. You know, if he shows up 2 or 3 days a week, there's a lot can get covered up that's not right. Those other 2 or 3 days a week, he's not here. So if I were you, I'd want him there. He gonna earn a fee. I can tell you that right now, just by keeping things moving. He gonna point out, you know, if they're pouring 4 inches of concrete and 6 inches of what the architect's got spec'd, and 6 inches is what the county's paying for, you expect 6 inches. Well, he gonna make sure 6 inches is going in. If he's absent for a while, you may get 4. With the duties that you've got here, this is a big enough job for him to be on boots on the ground anytime work's being performed. And he'll monitor the schedule, quality control the change orders, make sure that the project's flowing smoothly. If something falls behind schedule, he's gonna monitor the schedule, and he's gonna say, Mr. Contractor, you're behind schedule. How are you gonna recover that schedule? If he doesn't properly answer that, he's gonna come to you and say, all right, Hamlin County, are you okay with me putting this bonding company on notice? And then that'll get his attention real quick. Again, we treat the contractors firm but fair. As long as they're abiding by the contract, they'll be treated fairly, but if they're not, then we're gonna point it out and try to remedy it on behalf of the county.
This time I'll open the floor up for any commissioners who may have a question.
Your Laurel County facility that just completed, I noticed it was not completed on time. Why was that?
You wanna address that, Travis?
The Laurel County facility was not completed on time due to, we had a subcontractor, an electrical contractor who had a subcontractor for him that does fire alarm systems that failed to perform on the job. Not only that project, but on another project we had. And they ended up paying liquidated damages for the 3 months that the project was delayed to the tune of $90,000, and some, as they say, some heads rolled at that subcontractor's facility. We notified the bonding company, went all the way up to corporate. It's one of these companies that their corporate is so big, they bought out all the other entities and they took control of everything, and they really didn't care. So, but in the end, they ended up paying the owner for the delays that they created.
What did that project come in at?
The Laurel County, it was total construction cost was $26 million.
Any other questions?
Have you had any experience with Mosley?
With who?
Mosley Architects?
Have not.
You have not?
What's the name of them?
Mosley,
Mosley? No, sir.
Most of the savings that you guys spoke of was pre-construction. Can you give us some examples of post, or after the?
Post-construction, well, so.
Or after it begins, yes.
Yeah, once you get into it. So, let's talk sewer line. Say we've got some rock removal for sewer line installation. Well, we'll look for ways to reroute the sewer line to save in rock removal. Or say they have, one thing we did, in Grayson County, they had looked at some prefab cells. And they're high dollar prefab cells, and we changed them over to conventional concrete block construction. Or we may look at changing the security metal ceiling to a security drywall ceiling, and those types of things.
Okay, but you're saying change them, you're going to suggest and work as a facilitator between architects and general
Contractor, yes, sir.
We want everybody to get along here.
Absolutely. It's a team. Look here. The last thing you want is a bunch of finger pointing
Yes.
and us coming to your meetings, fighting amongst yourselves. It's teamwork. As Travis said, there's no I in team. We sit down and work with architect and contractor as a team.
Very good presentation, but there's can you typically save your fees?
Absolutely. I've got several case studies where we bid out jobs both ways. A lot of times we do full-blown construction management where we'll bust the job in bid packages and we'll bid out an electrical package, masonry, earthwork, steel, detention, mechanical, electrical. I can save you my fee and put 5 to 10% in your pocket if you go that route. If you go the project management route where you just have a general contractor, I can absolutely save you the fee. And if you let us if we can look at doing the sales tax thing, I can save you a heck of a lot more than my fee. You with me?
I understand. And one other thing, you mentioned, I just lost my point, sorry. Phil. I just lost it, maybe it'll come back to me, sorry.
Okay.
Look over my notes here.
And Travis is gonna hand out my cards. If you if you got any more that come up and want to email me, or call, please feel free.
Got a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Which one ever supposed to move here?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that cost going to be added to when we get down to the cost of this?
No, we're gonna give you a, all-inclusive fee.
Okay, you do percentage or flat? How do we do that? Do you know yet?
Either way,
Okay.
we'll give you a lump sum turnkey, and that turnkey will include everything. You're not gonna get a lodging bill. Oh, here, he's got a lodge wherever he lives. So he would move to Hamlin County. This would be his residence for the duration of the job. So no, we don't add postage, we don't add meals, we don't add mileage, we don't add,
Clarify.
trips to the ball game. We just say, here's a cost, you tell me exactly what you want me to do. I'm gonna give you one number, and I'll give it to you as a turnkey for the whole job, or I can give it to you monthly, weekly, however you want it, but it'll be all inclusive and nothing hidden and nothing adding on to it.
I found another point, attending meetings, earlier, you said something like, Travis, I think, spoke to this, or maybe you did. You need 2 weeks to give us,
The budget. Yeah, if we got a complete set of plans, maybe 2 to 3 weeks, we're gonna know within that period of time where this thing's gonna come in, within a couple percent of where it's gonna come in.
you realize we're in our construction drawing phase.
I do.
Okay.
And we can work simultaneous while they're finishing those construction documents. If he's already construction documents, we can get that close now. You with me? While he's finishing up, so that we won't affect the critical path of the project. You with me? So if he's got 3 weeks left, I'll have my number when he's complete.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, we appreciate your interest.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you for being here.
He's sitting in the middle of the picture.
Yeah.
That's one of my comments.
Are you going to get some copies? Presentation?
Oh,
Is everybody-
let me see a copy of that. I meant to do
You can
that.
have that, but the hard copies.
Everyone has one except the commissioners that aren't here.
Perfect.
I'll have their copies for them.
Thank you all. Pleasure meeting you all.
Commissioners, we have a meeting, Monday, 5 o'clock.
I know, I have-